This is the week we are impeaching Joe Biden. That's right. As per Lauren Boebert's call to impeach Biden, we're doing it. Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, has announced that he is going to begin impeachment inquiries. This is without a congressional vote to do so. Apparently, he can just do it. I think once you hear everything he lays out about the Biden crime family, or doesn't lay out, you'll agree that this was the right move.
These allegations paint a picture of a culture of corruption. Now, here's what we know so far. Through our investigations, we have found that President Biden did lie to the American people about his own knowledge of his family's foreign business dealings. Eyewitnesses.
Can I just quickly, first of all, before we get into the rest of this is kind of long. There's no evidence to any of this. He's going to say eyewitnesses. He's going to say random whistleblowers. There's nothing they presented. Like, not disclosing what your son is doing is not the same as lying. Like him trying to use your name, like all rich people's sons and daughters do, to get, some fucking job position. Don't have to get in the whole Burisma bullshit and the fact that actually Hunter Biden advised them and against, help them get more of their finances in line. Like all the opposite of what they're saying. I'm just going to judge McCarthy on his performance because he's doing a lot of deep pastor size,
yeah, and I think he added some extra flags in the background for effect too.
For sure.
Do you need that many flags? If you're
the
telling
lighting's right. Yeah.
Have testified that the president joined on multiple phone calls and had multiple interactions. Dinners resulted in cars and millions of dollars.
Wait. He just turns. If you're listening, he just turns. He says, resulted in cars. And your dinners result in cars. And then
I think he might be talking about Trump's kids. Did he get the wrong memo?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How many billions of dollars from Saudi Arabia before he was out the door? Oh, and did they ever pass their security clearance? No. Were they in the Oval? All the time. Okay.
Into his sons and his sons' business partners. We know that bank records.
Right there.
I like that extra oomph on that beat. We know that bank records.
Okay, what the bank records
show that nearly $20 million in payments were directed to the Biden family members and associates through various shell companies. The Treasury Department alone has more than 150 transactions involving the Biden family and other business associates that were flagged as suspicious activity by U.S. banks.
Yeah. Deutsche Bank wants to talk about Trump. But this is all, it's Hunter Biden got some money for working for the Ukrainian company Burisma. Maybe there were others. Yeah, a lot of rich people, a lot of people in Congress, mind you, already work in the stock market, even though they literally are in control of legislating the stock market. That's not illegal. But shell companies, that's their middle fucking names. I'm going to skip ahead.
Joe Biden.
Oh.
House committee.
Here we go.
That's why today I am directing our House committee to open a formal impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden. This logical next step will give our committees the full power to gather all the facts and answers for the American public.
Okay.
Do you know what this reminds me of?
Yes.
This speech, it reminds me of when Trump said he was going looking for Obama's birth certificate. Remember that? He's like, I am going to look everywhere. I'm going to do everything, turn over every stone. And what happened with that? We never heard anything about anything he ever found. We never heard about anything illegal, suspicious. I mean, this is just all theatrics. I'm like, why do we have the energy for this when there's so many pressing problems in America? So many.
look, hang on, Corinda. Look, childcare and necessary food stamps, that stuff can wait. Okay, the government's about to shut down, but we need to impeach Joe Biden first. Look, a wise war criminal once said, the absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. That is Donald Rumsfeld about WMDs. Still looking for those somehow. I just wish every Republican could go to Iraq and continue to look for WMDs. But you're right. And it is purely performative. We'll get into why it is performative. The logical next step is so utterly ridiculous. And you wonder what and who he is auditioning for. I still don't know.
That's exactly what we want to know. The answers. I believe the president would want to answer these questions and allegations as well. This effort will be led by Chairman James Comer at the Committee on Oversight in coordination with Chairman Jim Jordan for Judiciary Committee and Chairman Jason Smith on Ways and Means. Now, I do not make this decision lightly. And regardless of your party or who you voted for, these facts should concern all Americans.
I want to remind everyone that Kevin McCarthy is from California and represents a good amount of dairy cows. And just a massive amount of Dust Bowl. So never forget.
I don't know how true this is, but they said that McCarthy doesn't even believe in this stuff, but he's being pressured from like the far right to bring these proceedings, and you can kind of tell. You saw a couple of eye rolls in there, like during his, like, he was like, and I don't think that he believes in this one iota, but
no, but he's got to commit
the bidding of the far right people in his party.
Yes, but he has to commit to it. He really has to stick with it, because you're absolutely right. We're going to get to what Matt Gaetz had to say, because the Freedom Caucus, the extremists in the House, they're not happy with this. They were the ones, remember, who held out on even voting for Kevin McCarthy to become speaker in the first place. They wanted Jim Jordan. Corinda, this is all on top of the fact that there's already a special counsel that's been appointed by who? By Joe Biden. Not by Joe Biden. By Merrick Garland, who works under Joe Biden. They're very, very separate, but arguably under Biden's presidency, Merrick Garland, they're going to be investigating it. They have all kinds of resources available to them. They can investigate Hunter Biden until the cows come home, and they're probably until, Kevin McCarthy's cow comes home. But you're absolutely right that this is all for show, and the Freedom Caucus does not like him, does not think this is enough. Here is Matt Gaetz, good old Rapey McForehead, speaking about this impeachment.
The whole world witnessed on this very floor in January, the whole world witnessed a historic contest for House Speaker. I rise today to serve notice. Mr. Speaker, you are out of compliance with the agreement that allowed you to assume this role. The path forward for the House of Representatives is to either bring you into immediate total compliance or remove you pursuant to a motion to vacate the chair.
Okay, so they're not happy with him. Now, I believe this was just before the impeachment inquiry was announced, so that's even more of a sense that an evidence that McCarthy is a total coward and cuck. But this is
compliance.
We're going to bring him into compliance.
So that means they already agreed to this when he became speaker, right? They were like, "This is we're trading our votes for this thing, right? This is what you're going to do once we make you speaker."
Yeah, absolutely. And there's more that he wants, so he's going to lay it out.
No vote on term limits or on balanced budgets as the agreement demanded and required.
This was the agreement, by the way, that was like, yeah, we'll vote for you, but you have to do this. Term limits, I'm with. That's the only thing, and we'll talk about that.
There's been no full release of the January 6 tapes, as you promised. There's been insufficient.
You want more evidence that it was Trump voters, MAGA supporters? We need more.
What you asked for, Matt.
The full Jan 6 tape. Shut up.
Accountability.
He's probably in
the
it.
Biden crime family, and instead of cutting spending to raise the debt limit, you relied on budgetary gimmicks and rescissions, so that you ultimately ended up serving as the valet to underwrite Biden's debt and advance his spending agenda.
Oh, you a valet. Damn.
Mr. Speaker, You boasted in January that we would use the power of the subpoena and the power of the purse. But here we are, 8 months later, and we haven't even sent the first subpoena to Hunter Biden. That's how you know that the rushed and somewhat rattled performance you just saw from the speaker isn't real. At this point, during Democrat control over the House of Representatives, they had already brought in Don Jr. 3 times, and we haven't even sent the first subpoena to Hunter Biden.
So he's
they
mad.
Already brought in Don Jr.
They're mad that the Democrats during 2 of the impeachment inquiries, remember, one of them was after Trump clearly was blackmailing the president of Ukraine in order to dig up dirt on Joe Biden. Mm-hmm. Just insanity, right? And then the second one was January 6th, and he's mad that Don Jr. had to testify, and we haven't even brought in Hunter and his beautiful blue eyes.
What's the ratio? We brought in Don 3. We need a 3-to-2 ratio.
Exactly. We need Ashley Biden.
Subpoena and power of the purse. Only thing the 118th Congress is known for at this point is electing Kevin McCarthy Speaker and underwriting Biden's debt. And unfortunately, there's only one of those things we can remediate at this time.
So he wants to remove Kevin McCarthy straight up. The impeachment announcement, not enough for Kevin McCarthy, who wants to remove. I mean, look, Corinda.
Who is he going to replace him with?
I mean, Jim Jordan himself. It doesn't matter. Anyone else. But this is just. It's so incredible to me, and I'm also a little jealous about what unmitigated pieces of shit Republicans are, that they don't even care about getting their bullshit agenda done. They don't even care about, hey, Maddie, you're about to embark on a bunch of your bullshit. Remember all the committees you created to look into Hunter Biden's dick pics? Remember how Marjorie Greene pulled out pornographic images on the House floor to show? Remember all that? And he's not good enough. So everyone's just it's like being in I don't know. It's like trying to work together. It's like being in an escape room with a bunch of influencers who are all trying to this the best selfie or be the person to get out. I feel like you're no, we're not working together. They're shut up.
What
You're
makes
in
me
my
so
life.
mad about this is this both sides BS that a lot of the media likes to come out with. I'm the Democrats don't have a Marjorie Taylor Greene. They don't have a Matt Crazy. They don't have these extreme people. It's so what are you talking? They're oh, the Democrats have their left wing. I'm where are they? Please point them out to me, because I don't see any.
Well, and that's the thing is where is it? I mean, the thing that's and this is sort of always the conundrum of we would like Democrats, and we have some, the squad, we have, progressives, we have arguably people who have, Cori Bush has said defund the police. Yes, I agree with that.
But we don't have Democrats pulling out porn of Don Jr. We don't have.
We need some.
We don't have that. Where's that person?
Exactly. Where's the just
want to compare? We need some 1-to-1.
Yes, I want someone to be no, we don't need borders. We need to obliterate all borders. Hashtag ACAB. And
we don't have anyone like that in the Democratic Party. So stop saying that.
No, because the bare minimum for the Democrats is always, let's try to keep the government functioning and running. And it is so stupid that we continually have these, these budget agreements that are good for 6 months, 3 months, I think this one was, and you have these continuing resolutions to keep on funding the government. It's the stupidest way to run a government. But that's what we have. And Democrats' baseline is I'm not going to hold the entire thing hostage to get my to get this very important piece of policy. Let's say it's a Green New Deal. Let's say it was Medicare for all. Let's say it was, abortion rights. I don't know. Those might be good things to hold the government hostage over, but also it's so clear that Matt Gaetz doesn't have the majority of Congress on his side. It would be so clear that if we were to hold Medicare for all, as the thing that people wouldn't vote on or whatever, it's we don't have enough strength to do that. That's not in line with the majority of people. The majority of people and representatives just want to keep being able to do the work. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Anyway, all to say, I am jealous and also aghast at both of what Matt Gaetz is doing. Like, imagine this is your Christmas day, and it's never good enough because they keep on moving the goalpost on Republicans do on what they want.
Yeah. I mean, we know the history of this party, right? So we know that whenever they don't have actual policies, right, they start to play this sort of social morality BS card, right? So
Yeah.
we're going to say that Biden's son is corrupt, right? We're going to say that the Atlanta prosecutor who's prosecuting Donald Trump is racist. We're going to say that, like, we're going to pull out all these things that have nothing to do with the actual policy that we're trying to put forth, because we're not putting anything anywhere. We're not helping people. We're not doing any of this stuff. I mean, they've done that for half a century, right?
Yeah.
It's
There's
just
distraction.
let's just get people angry about people coming across the border, or affirmative action, or abortion, or it's like, let's get people riled up about all that stuff to detract from the fact that we're not doing anything policy-wise for people.
What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/bitchuation room. Do it.